What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again, live for another Tops in the Morning show. And today is the day, people, the start of the Premier League season. Let's go, man. Feels like Christmas Eve up in here. Let's go. Liverpool play tonight against Bournemouth at Anfield, the reigning Premier League champions. So let's see how they get on. But yeah, man, we're going to get into the predictions, man. Top 4 predictions, who's going to win the title, who's going to be the player of the season, signing of the season, flop of the season, all of that good stuff, man. So yeah, should be a really good show. Big up Darren, of course, man. Big up Tops, big up yourself, bro, in the building. As always, my brother. Good to see you in the building. So yeah, obviously I've gone onto the BBC Sport website. They've got a few pundits on there. Let's see what they have to say, because again, a few of these pundits sometimes are well off the mark. Sometimes the ones that you kind of think, you know what you're talking about, they're kind of spot on, bang on the money. So yeah, so the Liverpool's Premier League triumph surprised a lot of people last season, but will they successfully defend their title again? That is the target for the Reds boss, Arnie Slot, who finished 10 points clear of the nearest rivals Arsenal last time out. But can the Gunners finally take the next step after coming second 3 years in a row? That's crazy. How will Man City respond after losing their crown after winning 4 in a row? Can Chelsea improve on last season's 4th place position? And will anyone else figure at the top? Who knows, man? Again, the Premier League season and obviously the team is always a surprising factor. We've seen it with Nottingham Forest in recent years, even like Aston Villa when they got into the top 4, that a random year where everyone thought maybe they'll be like mid-table kind of thing. So yeah, there is probably going to be another shock for sure. So this time we've asked AI's opinion and included what OptiStats supercomputer came up with. The AI predicted was generated as well, obviously just to generate the Premier League table. It simulated the outcome of all 380 Premier League games 10,000 times, has come to the same conclusion as 12 of our pundits, including Chris Sutton, who performs a similar calculation when he predicts his predictions each week. So yeah, this is who he's gone with. So Chris Waddle has actually gone for Chelsea to win the league, Arsenal to finish 2nd, Man City to finish 3rd, and Liverpool to finish 4th. Wow, that is a different kind of top 4 that I've not seen actually yet, to be honest with you. Liverpool 4th, okay, fair. Joe Hart, obviously formerly of Manchester City, no surprise there. He's gone for Manchester City to finish 1st, Liverpool 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, Arsenal 4th. Michael Brown, similar as well, gone with the same kind of formation or same kind of lineup. Stephen as well, Man City top, Liverpool as well. Paul Robinson, same thing. Again, former Manchester City player there as well, man. It's crazy, man. Big up yourself, bro. I am me, A up Tops in the building. Big up yourself, brother. Good to see you in the building, in the chat, man. Make sure you guys like on the video if you've not already, and subscribe if you've not already, man. Just go through obviously the Premier League predictions on BBC. Now all the guys that have predicted Liverpool, Michael Richards, who is obviously Manchester City player or former ex-player, has actually predicted Liverpool to finish 1st, Man City 2nd, Arsenal 3rd, Chelsea 4th. Troy Deeney, Liverpool 1st, Man City 2nd, Arsenal 3rd, Chelsea 4th. Pat Niven the same. So these are all kind of the same. Ashley Williams as well, kind of the same too. Alan Shearer the same. Liverpool and then Arsenal 2nd, Man City 3rd, Chelsea 4th. So it seems like everyone's really got the same kind of top 4. I think everyone believes, and I think this is probably true as well. These are the 4 best teams in the Premier League at the current time. When obviously the season's kicking off for sure. Wayne Rooney's actually gone for Liverpool as well. Chris Sutton too. And he also, there's a lot of people are saying Liverpool, man. One person said Chelsea, a few people said obviously Manchester City. All of these people saying Liverpool, man. Wayne Rooney, Shearer, Chris Sutton, Sidwell, Shay Given, Dion Dublin, wow, Theo Walcott, Danny Murphy, all of them saying Liverpool, man. And then you carry on and you see you see Rob Green, Liverpool, Chelsea 2nd, Man City 3rd, Arsenal 4th. Glenn Murray, kind of the same kind of lineup. And then a few people have obviously put Arsenal to win the league. Matt Upson, former Arsenal player, though. Mark Keown, former Arsenal player. He used to play for Aston Villa. But yeah, he's put obviously Arsenal 1st, Liverpool 2nd, Manchester City 3rd, Chelsea 4th. Sue Smith is the same. Leon Osman, I think Betford supports Arsenal as well. He's put Arsenal to finish and win the league as well. AI is actually picked Manchester City to finish 1st, Arsenal 2nd, Liverpool 3rd, and Chelsea 4th. But I think with AI, I think they kind of generate the last past league table finishes. So obviously on the average, Arsenal finished 2nd the most times in the last 4 or 5 years. Man City finished 1st the most times in the last 4 or 5 years. Liverpool probably finished 3rd more times than anyone else in the last 3 or 4 years. And obviously Chelsea have just come back into it. So yeah, Optus supercomputer has put Liverpool top, with Arsenal second, Man City third, Chelsea fourth. So I'm guessing that's based off the predictions of last season. I'm putting them into this season as well. But yeah, overall expected ranking using all 35 predictions. Liverpool with 121 points, Arsenal second with 90, Man City third with 83, Chelsea fourth with 46. So yeah, I'd say yeah. Basically, this is kind of going to be the expected top four. I think everyone is in agreement, really, that this is going to be the top four. I don't think anyone outside of this has done enough in terms of transfer-wise to kind of suggest they could break into this kind of mode of these four teams. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see actually what happens with these four teams in general, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Loving the consistency. Big up I and me, of course, my bro. Just trying to do my bit. As always, my guy. Big up yourself, of course. Big up Don, man. Morning, Tots, morning. Oh, big up yourself, brother. Good to see you in the building, of course, man. Love to see you in here as well. Hopefully you are well, mate, and looking forward to the season. You had a good time off as well, my bro. Good to see you in here. YouTube should launch the ability for a person to drop 1,000 likes. But yeah, 100% I agree, I am me, bro. 100%. That would be obviously key, man, just to get it obviously in the algorithm, get more people seeing, eyes on the product, eyes on people's videos and stuff like that. So I completely agree. Big up Joseph, man. Big up yourself, brother. Good to see you in the building. Big up Tops, in my opinion, for Arsenal to win the league, need to move the ball quicker. 100%, bro. I feel like, again, how we played against Athletic Bilbao, that kind of 1-2 kind of touch in terms of balls over the top, that directness to play in the likes of Victor Gyökeres, to play in the likes of Martinelli on the quick kind of transitional turnover. I think that's going to be the kind of the play that we need to start doing now, especially if you want to try and break down low blocks. I think the reason why we struggle as well as obviously teams defending really, really well is because we're so slow in terms of build-up play. By the time we've passed it from A to B, from side to side, teams can obviously shuffle and move across and still stay in position. The way to obviously beat low blocks is to move the ball very, very quickly to the point where players can't get in the position fast enough for you to obviously invade space. We've seen it with Zubimendi passing it quick diagonal balls straight to Saka, and straight away is in 1v1 straight away, just because, again, the quickness of the thought process. And I feel like Zubimendi, that's probably what maybe has the edge over Partey in terms of, like, he doesn't need 2, 3, 4 touches to obviously play someone into space. He could do it in 1 or 2 touches based on how he performed at Athletic Bilbao. So I think he's going to be the key man in terms of how we create chances now, if I'm being honest. I don't really see look at Odegaard in terms of him being the kind of sole creator now. I think for a while now, he's kind of been nullified a little bit, if I'm being honest, in terms of if his kind of combination play with Bukayo Saka and Ben White doesn't really work out. There's no real kind of alternative for him to kind of be creative and even pass to someone on the left-hand side, for example, or to feed in the striker. That might change a little bit this season because, again, we've not been playing with a conventional striker. It's either obviously Kai Havertz or Jesus or Mika Marino. These are not guys that are notoriously known for making runs in behind. You compare that to someone like a Victor Gyökeres, who, again, he's notorious for invading space, going in behind, drifting into the channels. That needs someone that can play a through ball into that kind of channel and path. But again, like I said, for me, this is the perfect opportunity for Odegaard to be utilized in that kind of way where he's on the last line of defense and he can then slide someone in through on goal and hopefully finish off the chance, man. So we'll see if that's going to be the tactics for this season for sure. Big up everyone in the building. Big up IME. Says morning to Arsenal, Dom and Darren. Big up, man. Big up the community, man. Big up the chat. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video and subscribe if you're new already. Big up AR, man. Big up yourself. Big up everyone. Big up the chat. Come on, bro. Big up yourself, of course. Big up Dre, man. Come on, bro. Good to see you in the building. As always, my guy. He says, good morning, Tops. The chat fire. What do you make of Tony Adams' comments? Also, have you seen what Cini said? Get that guy out my club complaining about some dumb stuff while on 100K, 150K a week. Big up yourself for the comment, man. Yeah, in terms of the Tony Adams stuff, I think I mentioned it on BBK Sports. Make sure you go check that out. Big up BBK for having me on his channel, obviously yesterday. I basically was just saying, you know what? I kind of agree with what he's saying in it, in terms of like when he's talking about Martin Odegaard and the fact that, again, you doesn't look like you're going to win anything. He's just going off facts. We've not won any trophy with Martin Odegaard as captain. I'm not saying that that's his fault entirely, but again, you have to look at certain things. I just think that as Arsenal fans, we shouldn't be happy with anything that we've done in terms of like, because we've not won anything. We need to obviously be open to making changes, whether it's the captaincy, whether it's changing the striker, which we've done, whether it's changing the manager, which obviously people want to do. Like, I feel like there's kind of an acceptance that because we like some of the players and the managers that we shouldn't change anything. But it's like, no, like, we ultimately are not doing what we obviously want to do, which is obviously pick up silverware. So we should be open to any kind of suggestions, changes, whatever to the team, for the simple fact that it might help improve the team. And so for me, I think it's fine. Listen, Tony Adams is the greatest Arsenal captain that I've seen in my lifetime, I think, of all time anyway. So if he's got an opinion, I'm not saying he's going to be right on absolutely everything, but obviously it is in your right to obviously hear what he has to say and not just think, oh, because you like Arteta or because you like Martin Odegaard individually, what he's saying, you're just going to dismiss. Actually think about what he's actually trying to say. He's saying that if you actually get rid of the captain's armband from Odegaard, that potentially you could actually get a better Odegaard, which could be true as well. The captain armband might be holding a little bit of a burden on him as well for his actual performances. And for me, as a captain, like, again, one of the main key things as a captain, especially when you're not a vocal one, is the fact that you are consistent in your performances. That's the one thing you will say about Tony Adams, about Patrick Vieira, about Roy Keane, about Steven Gerrard. These guys were captains because not only, okay, a lot of them were vocal, but more importantly, their consistency on the pitch was obviously something to obviously be led by. Like, you looking at him thinking he's always performing 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. That's what I need to do. And I'm not the captain. So I need to follow the captain's lead kind of thing. But when you're dropping in stinkers, that's not captain material. And that's what he was alluding to. Like, you can't have a poor season as a captain and perform that way throughout the entire season, not have any kind of uproaring in terms of form-wise, and continue to be the captain season in, season out. So that's why I think it's a massive, massive season for him. He has to definitely perform better. Otherwise, for me, he should be on the bench. And what captain are you going to suggest that should be on the bench if he's a proper captain? Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like the two things are intertwined with each other, performances and obviously leadership as well, especially when you're not vocal, I think are hand in hand with each other, man. You have to be performing on a consistent basis if you're the captain of the football team. Do you know what I mean? You can't be putting in stinkers throughout the entire season, man. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. In terms of Zinchenko, yeah, I've said it before, man. I feel like for him, he just talks too much, man. I think the whole thing with obviously him revealing Arteta's tactics while he was still at the club, while the season was still going on. So I think Rio Ferdinand, I think it was just unnecessary. Yeah, I just think for me, he came in, he improved the team, definitely elevated us from obviously being outside the top four into the top four. If we finished second, we should have won the lead that year. But after that, man, I think again, we should obviously just try and move him on now for sure, man. But yeah, in terms of his comments, man, it doesn't really surprise me he said anything because that's what the kind of guy he's like. But yeah, man, I don't really think it was necessary, if I'm being honest. What's your lineup for the Sunday's game? We got I and me. Yeah, I would go David Ray in goal. I would go probably Ben White right back, Gabriel Saliba, probably Timber left back, if I'm being honest. Because again, Mbuemo is probably going to be one of their, if not their biggest threat in the game. Then Zubimendi, Rice. I would give Odegaard another chance. But this is kind of the issue I have with obviously playing Ethan Nwaneri. Is it a thing where do a lot of fans trust Ethan Nwaneri to play in a game at Old Trafford, to play a game at the Etihad, and be one of our key crucial players at the age of 18, especially when it's going to be his first time, maybe playing away from home in the top Premier League game? This is kind of the barrier you kind of are stuck with because he's 18. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is why I said I wanted Eze to come in, because again, he kind of bridges the gap a little bit in terms of quality. And someone like, again, if you had Eze in the 10, I will be like, yeah, cool. You can drop Odegaard for a bit, play Eze in the 10, see how that works out kind of thing. But yeah, I would start Odegaard. But again, I think he needs a very good season for sure, in my opinion. And then up front, it's going to be Saka, Martinelli, man. I'm tempted to play Madueke. Yeah, actually, I'm going to start Madueke on the left, man. Because obviously Timber's going to go inside, because obviously he's right-footed. He's going to invert, and then obviously Madueke is going to go outside. I think that left-hand side, in terms of balance this season, we have to get it right in terms of the left back and the left winger. Like, if you're going to have one invert, so if you're going to have Martinelli who's right-footed, you have to have Calafiori who goes on the left. We've seen it time and time, and I feel like that's why our left-hand side was very, very stale last season, is because we had two players that want to do the same thing. You have Miles Lewis Kelly that wants to invert, and Martinelli that wants to cut in. So they're just all going into the same kind of path and channel and getting in each other's way. Whereas for me, if you have a left back that wants to go out on the outside, you can then have a left full forward that wants to come inside, and then vice versa. A full back wants to go inside, then you have to have a left winger that goes outside. So yeah, and then obviously Gyökeres up front, of course. That would be my lineup, man. But again, I got a feeling he's probably going to start Havertz, if I'm being honest, and probably Martinelli, because he likes those kind of guys. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens, man. Big up Dre says Zini talked about how unhappy he was sitting on the bench, and children, he said, on the bench, it hurt him. Lord, you earn 150k a week, earn your effing place back. That interview was all about Mimi. Yeah, you know what? The thing is as well, like, I'm not even too fussed about even like him being on the money, because again, Arsenal put him on the money, so that's just obviously Arsenal's problem, innit? It's more just about like, again, you're coming into like a football club that's a top like level football club. You got to be expecting that you're not always going to be picked. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I feel like it was a little bit like, I understand obviously that's how he's felt, but at the same time, I don't know, Mo. I feel like that's kind of just part and parcel of being a footballer. Sometimes you're gonna get picked, sometimes because again, he's just come from Manchester City, so I don't understand. He was never a regular there like that. So I would have thought he would have understood that potentially he's not going to be playing week in, week out kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's a bit of a weird one, man. Bit of a weird one for sure. Big up Joseph says Odegaard passed in the last game for Martinelli when Saka scored. More like it, and you see that in the Prem. Yeah, 100%. And this is what I'm saying in terms of like, which I literally just said about him having someone like a Gyökeres, him having someone like a Martinelli running in behind, and having Odegaard play that final pass in behind. Obviously, again, Havertz doesn't really do that. Jesus doesn't really do that. These guys like ball to feet, really, if I'm being honest, they don't really make those kind of direct runs with a bit of pace. And this is why I feel like if you're going to play Martinelli, it's got to be in that forward line so he can obviously be the most useful in terms of being in the center of the goal. When you put him out wide, he's very isolated, can't really get into the game, and obviously seeing his quality in terms of being able to beat a man on a consistent basis and putting in a good ball is obviously not at a high level. So yeah, I think, like you said, if we can use Odegaard like that, I think then you can get the better out of him, because he's going to feel and seem more creative when you do that, man. We got Luis Garcia. It says Liverpool are still in talks with Palace over Gay of the ceiling Liani, but a deal is not close as things stands. Palace still want 50 mil, man. Obviously, Liverpool won't go beyond 35 to 40. Bro, I don't think they should be going beyond that either, man. With a year left, the fact that you can get him on free next year, I think the thing is he's Gay as well. He'll be happy to stay and just go on a free, which obviously Palace are not going to want to do. So I think Palace will lower their demands towards probably the last week of the window, bro. But obviously, the longer they leave it, the more likely it is going to be harder for them to get a replacement of adequate quality. Big old Darwin says, morning, I am me. Quality in your handle name. Great mentality. I am me is right. Come on, bro. Liverpool still working on Gay deal, but close is not, obviously, clubs are not close for an agreement. Sorry. Good morning, normal guy. Good morning from America. Good morning to yourself, man. Hopefully you are well, my brother. Good to see you in the building, of course, as always. Big up Dre, he didn't want to go to Milan because he didn't want to be take a pay cut. Now he's going to be on the bench. Contract will expire this season. Your position got taken by a 17-year-old. Earn it back. Yeah, for sure. Like, again, the mentality-wise in terms, I think, you know what? I just don't like the feeling of, obviously, players can come out and obviously say what they need to say, but at the same time, I feel like, again, there's a time and place when he drops it. And I think when he comes out and says things, it's always at an inconvenient time. Like now, the season's about to start. You're kind of coming in with a little bit of negativity. Like, it wouldn't be too bad if he's already been sold or gone to another club and now he's talking about his time at Arsenal. Then again, that's fair enough. But you're literally still at the club. Potentially, you might stay here. Like, there's no been actual any bid for you as of yet. So, I don't know, man. I just think the timing of the whole kind of thing is just kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. Crystal Palace value Mark Gay at 45 to 50 mil despite his contract. This summer, Liverpool are at odds, and value defend at 35 to 40 million. Still the move to make for Liverpool this summer. Big old Darby says, I don't think the captaincy held Odegaard back last season as it didn't previously. I'm never worried about the armband. The crucial thing for me is having a range of the skills in the leadership group. Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like personally, when you've obviously got a captain, I think potentially when he obviously came back from injury, maybe he was rushed back a little bit as well, because I feel like when he played against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, he didn't look like he was 100% fit. And then after that, I think, again, he just didn't really obviously create his form. And again, he was just kind of poor throughout the entire rest of the season, in my opinion. But yeah, I think the captaincy can obviously put an extra bit of pressure on him to, when he's not in form, to make sure you're in form quicker, if that makes sense. Like, I think when you're not the captain, you can kind of lay low a little bit more in terms of, okay, because I think Declan Rice had a bad start to the season personally in terms of his form and that. But I feel like he was naturally given the time to kind of rediscover his form after he came back from the broken toe. I think the second half of the season, he was much better. There's a period where he was probably one of our best, if not our best player, during the kind of Real Madrid kind of period where he was scoring goals and stuff like that. And obviously his man of the match performances against them. So yeah, I think potentially when you're not the captain, you could maybe have a little bit more wiggle room in terms of with the fan base, in terms of when you're not performing as much, because again, you're not seen as that kind of higher guard, no point intended, in terms of like being the captain and stuff like that. But yeah, I think potentially though, personally, in terms of what I want from a captain, you have to be a consistent performing player. I don't think you can go 4, 5, 6 months with not being one of the best players, to the point where if Odegaard got dropped, like no one was saying he doesn't deserve to be dropped. Like people were like, you know what, he's not performed for so long, like he should probably be on the bench now. And I don't think that you should ever be in that situation with your captain personally. Not to say that obviously captains can't go through bad form, of course, but I just feel like, again, when it's that long, it's like, well, we got to try and sort this out in some way. Like this can't, for example, like if he performs like this season, like say he's as bad as he was last season, people are going to be like, we need to sell him, so he's not going to be the captain anyway. So yeah, and this is the thing, bro. So I feel like it's very important for him to rediscover his form this season, because I still think he's a good player, but again, he's just not been showing it for the last probably 6 or 7, 8 months or so. So yeah, I think for me, he definitely needs to try and show it. I think he has got the quality, what he can do, but we have to go on and wait and see for sure. I don't care what the legend Tony Adams said. He has warranted his respect though through the club, blood, sweat, and tears he's put into the club and the Arsenal. Listen. I like I said, I respect Tony Adams as well, and I feel like for me personally, when he comes out and says things, there is for me, you have to try and at least try and listen to what he's actually saying. Like I said, because he's the captain, he's won trophies as the captain at Arsenal, whether it's 2002 or later 1998. He's won cup finals with Arsenal as the captain too. So again, you have to actually try and analyze and critical think his logic. Because again, he probably knows what it takes. Well, not even probably, he doesn't know what it takes to win the trophy for Arsenal as a captain and what he leads. However, obviously, people's personalities are different. Tony Adams' personality is completely different to Odegaard. So how he would do things would be completely different to how Odegaard does things. So you have to take that into account as well. But in terms of what he's saying, in terms of like I said, his logic, releasing the armband might actually put a little bit less pressure on him. Obviously, he's talking from a personal experience where the armband does put pressure on you. He's obviously saying that himself because he was the captain, so he probably knows, you know what, I'm the captain. I know I need to put in an A1 performance more than if I wasn't the captain. So again, I think he's speaking from personal experience. And again, I don't think he was saying it in terms of like, he thinks that Odegaard's a terrible player. It's just more like he's looking at a solution of, okay, Odegaard was poor last season. He was the captain. Maybe if we take the captaincy armband off him, then maybe we can obviously get a bit more out of him. It's just ideas and situations where I think, like I said before, I think Arsenal fans should be a bit more open too, because again, we all are not happy with the situation we're at. We all want to be starting winning trophies. So you have to be open to potentially not doing things like we did last season, like having a few changes in and around the team, whether it's tactically, whether it's personnel, whether it's who's the cap. Like there's always things you can definitely change for sure. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think you've definitely got to be open to that as a fan, in my opinion, especially if you want the team to obviously be better than they are. Do you know what I mean? Because we obviously have to change something. I know injuries played a part and some of the obviously dodgy refereeing decisions, but ultimately in terms of how we performed as a team, especially at home with some of the home performances, man, I don't think we were good enough individually or as a collective in terms of breaking down low blocks and stuff like that, or scoring enough goals. So yeah, I do think potentially you have to take on board what people are saying in terms of advice and that, and then see what you can do from there. Big up Darby says, but having said that, I respect Adams and I can follow his logic completely. Yeah, exactly, man. And this is what I feel like. It's just from a logical point of view in terms of, obviously, he loves Arsenal, wants Arsenal to do well. Is there some things that can change through that Arsenal team in terms of maybe not in personnel, but like certain positions and obviously responsibilities that could be shuffled around a little bit that could give you the extra 5 or 10%, which again, I feel like is a completely logical or reasoning and explanation to why he would think or want certain plays to be maybe moved in certain directions and stuff like that. So yeah, I completely agree, man. I reckon White will start on the right. But I agree with you about getting the left wing and left back combos right to help with that balance. 100%, Don, man, 100%. I think that's a key thing. We've seen it. And to be fair, Arteta did do it in the Bilbao game, which is obviously encouraging that potentially he's going to go forward and try and do that on a regular basis for the simple fact that, again, you see Madueke come on the, obviously, we've seen Calafiori start at left back and he was overlapping with Martinelli, obviously playing left wing. And then in the second half, I think Miles Lewis-Skelly came on, or I think Timber moved on to left back, sorry. And then obviously he was inverting, and then you see Madueke come on, who was obviously providing the width. Much better balance. He gives obviously oppositions more to think about in terms of, okay, Madueke is going to go obviously out wide, but then if we follow him, then there's going to create a load of space inside for Timber to obviously walk into on his strong foot. So I think that balance was always missing, if I'm being honest. And the thing is, it's strange when as a fan that we didn't really kind of realize that, because on the other side, when you've got someone like Ben White, you've obviously got Bukayo Saka. And again, that kind of balance is perfect. Ben White goes on the overlap because he's strong on his right foot. Saka comes in on his left foot because he's strong on his left foot. And then again, you can create that kind of two options where you can go obviously to the byline and cut it back, or you can obviously allow Saka to cut in on his favorite foot and shoot or put in a cross. So yeah, man, I think definitely next season, I feel like when people talk about the balance on the left-hand side, we have to have opposite feet in terms of like left back and left wing. So you've got that kind of better balance for sure. Big up me. It says, I see Arteta determined to use Madueke on the left wing, as is his Rafinha. I'm afraid this is going to kill his goal tally as he become more of a crosser than a shooter with that magic left foot of his. Yeah, I agree. I feel like potentially he's going to be especially because, again, I think like he's going to be asked to be that kind of that width, that guy that kind of put balls into the left-hand side, into that area to try and obviously create a bit more chances from that left-hand side. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be at goal at all. But I feel like his actual skill set is more suited to be a touchline winger compared to Martinelli. Because for me, Martinelli is more of a inside second striker, second forward kind of player. So he needs to be closer to the goal as much as possible. When you put him out on the wing, he's isolated. There's no real kind of combativeness in terms of him trying to get back past his fullback on a regular basis. I think with Madueke, that directness and that obviously pace he's got to go on the outside might actually suit what Arteta is trying to do. But yeah, when it comes to obviously the players and in terms of how they're going to perform on a regular basis, obviously we got to have a look at Madueke's consistency, and you got to kind of just hope now, really, which is not a position that I personally wanted to be in, especially in that left wing position. I wanted someone as guaranteed as possible. As you can obviously know, not every transfer is guaranteed, but you want to get someone on that kind of high echelon level to know that, you know what, I don't even have to worry about consistency with him. I know if you give him chances, if you give him space, he's going to be a massive asset. And with Madueke, you're hoping he's going to be, but you just don't know really, if we're being honest, man. Because again, he's not had a lot of chances out on that left-hand side playing on a regular basis for Chelsea. So yeah, big up Godfrey, man, in the building, my brother. What you telling me, my guy? Big up Tots, bro. Hope you're well. Big up the community, man. Big up the community as always, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. Alexander Isak has not changed his plans. He still wants to leave Newcastle and has asked to be sold. Isak has agreed personally with Liverpool as revealed and pushing to join Liverpool as well. What do you guys make of this? Obviously, Isak news as well. You guys in the comments, let me know what you think. I think, you know what it is? It's a catch-22 because, again, on the outskirts looking in, obviously, it doesn't look great. I'll be honest, man. In terms, it's not a great look. Him not turning up for his teammates and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, if this is kind of modern-day football now, as bad as it sounds, you've seen it with Victor Gyökeres, who did it in terms of him going on strike. And always, again, when you're the player, when you're the fan base that's receiving the player and obviously benefiting from the player going on strike, you do have the narrative of, oh, what a fantastic gesture he's doing in terms of he really wants to play for Arsenal, or Liverpool fans might say he really wants to play for Liverpool because he's, you know, refusing to train. But then on the other side, when obviously it's your player that's doing it, obviously you feel disrespected, you feel hurt, you feel disappointed, you feel like let down. Why is this player acting like this? We've still got games where you start at the club until you're obviously not contracted anymore. Why are you not kind of playing for the badge, etc.? But again, this is kind of modern day football, man. I think like teams are encouraging players. You've seen it with obviously Whistler as well, not turning up for training, not going to pre-season. He wants to move to Newcastle because of Champions League football. And now they've obviously the boy, is it Otora? From Bournemouth now. So yeah, it looks like they're going to get his way as well. Obviously, Gyökeres got his way in the end. He ended up obviously going to Arsenal. So I think, unfortunately, this is modern day football. And I'm not to say it's still right, but I feel like, again, if you condemn one guy, you got to condemn any kind of transfer, even if it is a benefit to your team. So we should be condemning Gyökeres, in my opinion, then, because he did exactly the same. It just benefited us because he came to our team. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm all kind of like, you know what, this is how it is now, really. I can't really condemn it because it's gonna happen, and it has happened to my team this season, where you're going to be on the benefit. You're going to be on the benefit of it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, big up Joseph says Skelly needs to be moved in midfield for me. At left back, he struggled against the likes of Jared Bowen, Jacob Murphy, Mohamed Salah. Definitely isn't Lewis Skelly's strength. Yeah, potentially there is an argument to have him more of a midfield option for sure, especially now with the little bit of a tactical tweak with Zubimendi kind of being in that double pivot. You could argue, is there actually a need for Lewis Skelly to be in that kind of that area of the pitch now, especially now you're looking at Declan Rice kind of going further back. We've seen that a little bit in the Bilbao game, where they were kind of, it literally was like a pivot. They were just going, Rice was going back deep and Zubimendi was going forward, and Zubimendi was going back deep and then Rice was going forward. So again, that area is kind of getting a little bit saturated now, whereas before it was literally like Declan Rice was in that left 8, obviously Thomas Partey was kind of on his own with like a Lewis Skelly or Zinchenko, and that was going to be the base. So maybe it does call for maybe a Lewis Skelly to maybe be pushed up further up the pitch. But yeah, I'm not sure about his development in terms of, we've seen it before when lots of like Bukayo Saka starts at left back and then goes further up the pitch. Maybe it's the same with Lewis Skelly. Maybe he's going to start in this position and move further into midfield once he gets a little bit older, a bit more obviously experience in the Premier League. We've seen him with Ethan already, played a lot of the time on the right hand side, and now there's talk of him changing position now back to his original position, which is the number 8 or 10. So yeah, maybe that's going to be the thing, bro. But I agree with you. I feel like he's much more comfortable in midfield, and to be honest, I want to actually see what he can do in midfield, because we've not really seen a massive sample size of him actually playing in midfield on a regular basis and what he can actually do. So yeah, very, very intrigued to see what he's doing. Big up Luis Garcia says Reds are set to submit a new bid for, obviously, for Alexander Isak as well. Big up yourself as always, man. Big up Don, man. I think that's a very fair point about the captaincy holding back as he tried to recover that form. Hadn't considered that. I said that apps. I can't even say it, man. I didn't never consider that. I'll just say that. Big up yourself, Dom. But yeah, man, that's the only thing I'm talking about in terms of logically, in terms of him trying to get back to his form, him trying to get back to that place where he was before. And when you're kind of down in the dumps and you kind of need to kind of rediscover that form, I feel like there is an extra bit of pressure for you to do that as quickly as possible, because people are looking at you as the captain to be the kind of leadership kind of person that, you know what, if we're not playing bad, at least the captain's playing well. You've seen it a lot of times with Steven Gerrard. The team's not very good, but Steven Gerrard's playing, doing his bit, playing the best he can play. And then that kind of elevates the other players on the team. Same with Roy Keane as well, Patrick Vieira. The list goes on and on. So yeah, as a captain, there is kind of that extra kind of burden, in my opinion, when it comes to performing at the highest level of your ability, as well as obviously dragging the team up to your level as well. So when you're performing at a low level, I feel like you definitely maybe has a damper on the team, or maybe the players that are looking to you to be obviously provide that little bit of extra quality, they're kind of seeing you not obviously in the best way, and then maybe they do obviously elevate themselves as well. So yeah, I think potentially that could be a massive thing on him coming into this season, my brother. Big up Dre, man, he says life does not work like that. Rich people problems. Do you think Arteta now, after seeing that interview, will start him? No, the pressure on this team is big. This is why I want everyone on the same page. Yeah, man, I think, like, again, man, I listen, everyone's entitled to say what they want to say, but I feel like when you obviously come out and say things, you got to think about the critical thinking of what does this impact have on the team, on the fans, etc. Are people going to like what I'm going to say? I feel like you have to take that into consideration before you start saying things. Otherwise, again, it could backfire. People can obviously not take your point of view, etc., etc. So I do feel like that you have to be a little bit more calculated on when you drop news, how you drop news. It's the start of the season. People want to be optimistic. I feel like this kind of brings a little bit of a dark burden on obviously the feeling towards him as a player anyway. And also the start of the season, you want to obviously have some positive energy, positive vibes as much as you can, obviously, based off of how the teams are performing. But yeah, I think I agree, man. I think it's the time and place to say things, and I don't think that was particularly necessary, in my opinion, man. Big up Dom says 100% agree. That if he doesn't find his form again, it'll increase pressure, but I think he'll refine his form. Hopefully he does, bro. Hopefully he does. Because like I said, I think he's a good player, man. And I think if he's playing at his best, the team is definitely going to improve for sure, bro. Because again, some of the kind of even Saka's best moments and Ben White's best moments is when you're in that kind of trio of them obviously combining each other on the right hand side. And when that is obviously flaring and booming, I think again we score more goals as well. So hopefully you're right, Dom. Hopefully you are right. Big up Red RD Red Road. If you know, you know. Big up Rory, man. Big up, bro. Good to see you in the building, my guy. Good to see you in here as always. I am me. I can't believe we are entrusting our 10 with Odegaard and a teenager. The best decision was to loan out Ethan after signing to get more minutes elsewhere and getting competition in for Eze. I wouldn't have been against that, to be fair. I wouldn't have been against that, loaning Ethan to like a Brentford or a Bournemouth or something for a year. It's for him to get obviously regular minutes in that number 10 role and then getting it in an Eze. Like I said, I feel like the problem you've got with Arsenal at the minute is that we're past the period of breading in youngsters, even though some of our youngsters are really good, because there's a lot of expectation and pressure on actually delivering some trophies on a regular basis now, considering some of the players that we brought in at 23, 24, they're starting to get into the 27, 28 age now, and we've still not won any kind of trophy since they've been at the club. So, yeah, I think that's kind of conflicting the expectation of what the fans need and desire, and also what the club should be at right now, considering if you obviously believe and buy into the phases and stuff like that, and where obviously the position and expectation are is with certain players like a Lewis Skelly, like a Ethan Wanyeri. These guys, like you said, are teenagers. They're going to need time to develop. But we're at a stage where we kind of need the ready-made article now. This is why, again, a lot of people are against the Madueke deal because, again, he's someone who's still inconsistent, needs time to probably develop still, especially in that left-sided position because he doesn't really play there that often for Chelsea, more on the right-hand side. So, yeah, these are kind of things we can't really have as excuses anymore, in my opinion, with the Arsenal team because you're getting into a lot of money spent by Arteta. You get into that final stages where we should really be trying to win trophies now and trying to get trophies. But when you're having to have players that are learning and developing, there's going to be a level of expectation in terms of the players of not actually being the finished article yet. So yeah, I think that's kind of a conflict of interest for sure. Big up Luis Garcia says Indicalia. Brentford have granted permission for Whistler to travel to Newcastle and undergo his medical. It's understood that Newcastle are securing the striker with Isak's move to Liverpool coming closer. So yeah, I've just seen Isak obviously not refusing to play the first game away at Aston Villa. So he is looking like he's trying to force that move, man. He is looking like he's trying to force that move. Big up Carlos in the building says, yo, it says that anyone in the chat play fantasy football, I can make a T-Chanzo Sports channel league. Yeah, man, do it, bro. Just make a channel, man. Obviously, I probably won't be playing, but yeah. Yeah, make sure you if you want to make a channel, just dash the link in the comments, man, and everyone join up the ting, bro. Big up Carlos for that. Big up Dasman, it says Liverpool Bournemouth 2-2. Okay, very interesting, man. I mean, I feel like Liverpool do have a few defensive issues for sure. We've seen Crystal Palace obviously navigate that in the last game in the Community Shield. I know it was a bona fide friendly, but again, some kind of defensive worries for obviously Liverpool throughout pre-season, really. So we'll have to wait and see if they can obviously channel that in tonight's game at Anfield, first game of the season. Premier League is back, player, says Carlos. Big up yourself, bro. Yeah, it feels like Christmas Eve, man. The Premier League is back. Can't wait for it, man. Been too long overdue, man. I said I saw the overlap, of course. Chelsea getting dismissed, shock. What those guys, agenda merchants. Yeah, bro. You know what? The thing is as well, it was it Gillian? Or is it Jill? She was the only one. Obviously, I know she said obviously Chelsea to win the league, but she was the only one that was giving Chelsea props. I feel like, again, I don't like Chelsea. I'm an Arsenal fan, innit? But to me, you have to be fair and obviously analyze the situation Chelsea were in a couple of years ago and compare it to now. They have vastly improved, you know what I'm saying, to the point where people are comfortably putting them in the top four without even any kind of hesitation. So to kind of dismiss them and say they're not going to have a good season, or I think Jill was trying to say they look really good, and obviously Carragher and the rest of them were like, nah, they don't look great. Which I feel like he's kind of strange them doing that because people would have said that about Liverpool last season, and they literally went on to win the league. And people were going to be like, they've got a new manager, Klopp's left. They've not signed anyone as well. Like, they ain't going to do anything. And they literally won the league by 10 points. So I feel like you can't get yourself in that kind of position where you're dismissing any team. It's a clean slate. Seasons are not linear as well. Just because you did well or bad last season doesn't mean that's going to be guaranteed for this season. You always have to earn your keep in the Premier League, in my opinion. That's why, obviously, teams improve their kind of starting lineup season on season. So, yeah, man, I think Chelsea will probably have a good season for sure. But, yeah, the hot take about Chelsea not getting out of the group stage, that's kind of crazy considering, isn't it like the first 24 teams? It's basically saying you're going to finish like 28th or something like that. That's mad. But yeah, big up yourself, of course. A big IME Tops to make a prediction of what miracle signing might also make come the end of the transfer window. The only one I can obviously hope for is the Rodrigo one, but again, I feel like that's dependent on so many factors. IME, bro, like him wanting to leave Real Madrid, him wanting to come to Arsenal, him not wanting to go to Manchester City. Like, there's a lot. Also, actually, being able to afford him as well, probably also being able to sell loads of players. So that's probably not going to happen if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I just hope we get someone in, bro. I mean, it's one of those ones where, and this is why I don't like, because for me, after the Gyökeres deal, I still wanted 2 players in, but it's now looking like we're not going to get any. It's getting to the point where I'm going to be happy if we just get 1 player in, and that's what ends up happening, bro. That's what ends up happening season in, season out when you're an Arsenal fan in terms of the transfer window. They beat you down so bad mentally in terms of like your expectations and it going lower and lower and lower to the point where you're happy with what they just give you. That's why everyone's just happy with Sterling. In reality, at the start of the window, you wouldn't be happy with Sterling because he looked like we weren't going to get anyone at all. It's like, yeah, we'll just get that and just take it kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know, bro. Hopefully we get 1 more, but it's not looking likely unless we sell some players, man. Brother, that Atora, bro, that price is ridiculous, man. I've seen his stats. I think he's got like 9 goals in like 33 games or something like that. And for going for 43 plus, even like the Hutchinson price. I know obviously Chelsea, I think are going to get like £9.5 million or something from that, which is obviously great business again. But yeah, even that one, 37, 38 million, 40 million. And this is what I'm saying. It feels like that's like the going rate for like average kind of wingers now. It's like 40 mil base. That's just set. Do you know what I'm saying? It's 40 mil and higher. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, mad price, man. And obviously, I feel like that's going to be the domino effect. Brentford are going to get him in, then obviously sell Whistle to Newcastle, and then Whistle will probably sell Isak to Liverpool. So yeah, I feel like that's going to be the question for sure. Big ol' IME says that my question of the day: imagine the world when Arteta is sacked. Like how many Gunner fans suggested which gettable coach do you think can come in and take us to the level up? Listen, I feel like there's always coaches available to come in and do the job, man. Like, again, you can scour the obviously Europe in terms of managers that have won trophies, that have obviously won league titles as well. Because I feel like if you're going to sack Arteta, you need to get a ready-made manager, someone that's established, someone that's obviously been there, done it, won trophies on a consistent basis to take this team over the line and make sure they obviously go to the finishing line. So yeah, if that's going to be the case, there's going to be a load of, and even the fact is, well, it doesn't even have to be a manager that's not got a club. You can always pry a manager from another team for sure. You've seen all the teams do it year in, year out. Prior manager that's already at another club and get them to obviously manage your club. So yeah, I feel like there's not going to be a plethora of managers that we can't get for sure. We spent 52 million on Madueke. Yeah, he still has to develop. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, bro. This is why people were against the move, man, in terms of the price tag and what we're trying to, the quality of the player. Not to say he can't be a great player, but in terms of where he's at in his career, he's not the finished article. And when you're spending that amount of money, especially because we don't really spend a load of money on attacking positions, especially when Arteta's been involved, it's a lot of outlay for basically another kind of project, really, isn't it? Like you're kind of hoping he improves more than he did at Chelsea for a point where he's a starter for Arsenal. Because again, he wasn't really a glorified starter for Chelsea like that. I mean, I don't think anyone's losing sleep that they've sold him. So yeah, man, it's one of those ones for sure, man. Guess who's back? Back again. Premier League's back. Tell a friend. For sure. Big Carlos in the building. He said it's the dismissal that doesn't sit right with me completely. The club World Cup argument is cap. Here's why. It had the champions of Spain in the last 4 years. Real Madrid, champions of England, champions of Italy, Inter Milan, champions of England, Manchester City, and France, and the Champions League winners. Now, if Klopp didn't lose to the Europa League final to Seville, won it, then they got knocked out against Atlanta, won their second Champions League final against Real Madrid, then Liverpool would have been in it. Yeah, true, very true. Yeah, that is actually true, to be fair. If they would have beat Atlanta, which was obviously, yeah, true. That is very true, to be fair. Now, you know what? I agree, man. I feel like, again, like I said, at the start of the season, also, you can obviously question when people say things, but like, for example, when Gary Neville said about Man United finishing potentially or aiming for top 5 or whatever, people obviously questioned it, but didn't dismiss it. They weren't like, no chance. But when obviously Jill said about the obviously Chelsea winning the league, which I don't think obviously they're going to win the league, but again, them getting higher than they did last season in 4th is definitely a possibility, man, because they've improved since last season. Let's be honest, like in terms of the players that they've got, in terms of obviously there's another season with the manager that they've had as well. So yeah, to just dismiss it, especially at the start of the season when let's be honest, predictions are predictions. No one knows what's going to happen, bro. Like everyone can say Arsenal going to win it or Liverpool going to win it, and it might be someone completely different. Like last season, literally everyone said it's either going to be Man City or Arsenal, and it was Liverpool. No one really had them to be winning the league. Never mind finishing in the top 2, really. So yeah, no one knows what's going to happen in the Premier League season, bro. So I feel like again, you've got to analyze again in terms of the team's progression, what potentially they could be obviously do in the season coming forward, and see what you can go from there. Not to say they have to agree with obviously what Jill was saying, but you can obviously hear her out and see what kind of logic she was obviously talking about when it comes to them looking really, really good. Well, and she did say they've got some of the best kind of players in the league for sure. Well, yeah, I still truly believe we don't do worse on the last day than bringing in a Sterling on loan. Nothing was basically better than that so far. The bar is not that high. Yeah, facts, bro. Facts, man. I mean, the only good thing about it was a loan. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, listen, I'm hoping that we do get a player in, but these sales, man, they're taking a while. We were told, I think it was like the end of July, just after we bought obviously Gyökeres, that we're going to focus on player sales. We're now into the 15th of August. And we ain't sold any. We ain't sold one person. We ain't sold anyone. We're not even close to selling people. Like, there's no one going for a medical. There's no fee agreed with anyone. Like, you talk about Reece Nelson, you talk about Trossard, you talk about Fabio Vieira, you talk about Kyle Hine, you talk about these players. Lokonga's another one. That's 5 off the top of my head. Kivio's been linked with a move away as well. You talk about these players. No one looks like they're going to be after them now. It might be a case where maybe towards the end of the window, maybe the last week or so, that maybe you might get a little bit more interest in people making bids. But that's not good enough for us, especially when we're relying on that to make more signings. Like, we've got to try and either bite the bullet or for me, I think we should just bite the bullet and say, you know what, we're confident we're going to sell and move these players on. We're going to get Eze or get whoever in right now in for the season, and then we're going to really hammer down about getting rid of these signings out. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. The CWC, it's bait now that Carragher says things to even when obviously because obviously Neville kind of prepped him up. Do you know what I'm saying? When he was like, "Oh, what are you gonna say about obviously Chelsea fans that I don't like you or whatever." So yeah, it's engagement farming, fam. It's engagement farming. I've got it. Now, Gary Neville was doing the same with Arsenal, bro. He was just engagement farming for a minute, especially the season where we didn't win the title the first time, when he was adamant Man City weren't going to win. But I feel like he was just saying that because he just didn't want Arsenal to win it, rather than him actually having a general point. And it's why, like I said, I always say it, man. Like, for me, even if you make good points, I can't really take it seriously when there's a hidden agenda behind it. It's like with obviously Graham Souness, when he always used to talk about Pogba underperforming and stuff like that. And even though what he was saying, it was true at the time for a player of his ability, he was underperforming. The reason he was saying it wasn't because he actually cared about Pogba. He just didn't like him because he was dancing and was happy and stuff like that. So there was a hidden agenda. So I can't really take this. I always dismiss the opinion when it's like that. When you're saying it's something for another reason than you actually should be, then yeah, I don't really feel it. So yeah, it goes, obviously, it's great now how that Carragher says things to rile Chelsea fans up and get interactions. But Gerard, in his rose-tinted glasses, says Carragher doesn't care with a laughing emoji. Yeah, he's definitely trying to fish, man, for sure. Madueke deal was straight up money laundering. Would you take Klopp at Arsenal? Yeah, I'll take Klopp at Arsenal. I'll take it. Bro, he's a winner. He's a winner, bro. Even though, obviously, again, towards the end of his Liverpool career, I think he maybe got a little bit stale, but I feel like that's just because what he's asking of the players for so long in terms of the energy and the commitment and the drive and the aggression year in, year out, you're going to get burnout, man. And I feel like, look at the midfield, it just collapsed. Henderson, Fabinho, and I think Wijnaldum left as well. It was knackered because of how much intensity they were obviously putting into games season in, season out. But yeah, Klopp definitely, man. I don't think he'd ever come to Arsenal. I don't think he'd manage another English club again. But yeah, 100%, bro. A winner. He's won the Premier League. He's won the Champions League. That's the thing that you kind of need now for Arsenal to kind of make the kind of next step in the evolution, for sure. That's a ridiculous question, bro. Right now with in full Mingy. Big up Mashin Joe. Hello, greetings from Sydney. Big up yourself from Sydney, man. Good to see you in the building, my guy. Make sure you subscribe already, man. I don't think I've seen you in here before, but big up yourself, of course, bro. Good to see you in the building. And True Tops, even during the season after Jan, we already heard that players are going to leave. Now they either left for free or contract got ripped up, like Tomiyasu. No sales, only Tavares. 100%, bro. Like, again, it's been a long time since, again, we've kind of gone and navigated towards that kind of situation where we're selling players for decent fees. You know what I'm saying? And again, we've had a lot of time, and we knew the players were not going to be involved in the team. Like, the players that were out on loan who have come back, they're not going to be involved. So for me, bro, I feel like we definitely need to make sure we capitalize and sell some players. Big up Carlos is a Klopp is a glorified Pochettino with it. That's nasty. That's nasty word. Nah, bro. It's nasty, bro. Nah, he's won the Champions. Nah, he's won the Champions League, bro, and the Prem as well. Yeah. Nah, that's so nasty. That's so nasty, man. That's a glorified Pochettino, you know. That's well, at least Klopp knew how to let his attack flow without limiting them like Arteta. Yeah, I feel like, again, and that's another thing I want to see from Arteta in terms of like tactics, because again, it's not all about players. I feel like what did I say? I can't remember what I said. Carlos, man. Klopp is a winner. That's what counts, right? I said with a budget, I said with the exclamation marks. But yeah, I feel like, again, in terms of tactically, in terms of what Arteta can improve, I feel like, again, releasing Saka a little bit more, man, taking away some of those kind of defensive responsibilities that we've seen a lot in the last year or so, maybe a couple of years. You've seen what obviously Salah said about Slot. He released him in terms of being so defensively minded, having to trap back. He said, you know what, you do your thing, you provide on the pitch. And he ended up getting 29 league goals, 18 assists. And I feel like Saka can definitely improve on his goal tally for sure. But again, he's asked to defend quite a lot. So yeah, I feel like, again, in terms of Arteta's mentality, I feel like he definitely has to learn. Man said, Di Matteo won the Champions League, bro. That is... what about the Prem? What about the Prem? Because I know there's not a lot of people that won the Prem, fam. And he won it by... I think he's I think Liverpool won it the quickest time in history, I think. Didn't they win it like March or something crazy? March or April, early April or something. With like, I don't know, 8 or 9 games to go. Something mad. So, nah, man, I'm not going to discredit him for sure. And he's won all the cups as well. Do you know what I mean? So, nah, I think he's a good manager, man. Should he have won more? That's another conversation. I think potentially he probably should have won more during the period of time. I know Manchester City were obviously dominant and stuff like that, but potentially he maybe should have won more trophies in that kind of element and era that he had with the team he obviously created. But nah, if you win the Prem and the Champs as well, and bro, he won every trophy. I think he obviously won the FA Cup, won the League Cup, won the Super Cup, won the Club World Cup. So yeah, man. But yeah, Liverpool, if they get Isak then give the title to them straight away. I seen obviously Jamie Carragher kind of dismissing the kind of give the title. I think he's just trying to relieve pressure off his team. But for me, they're the favorites in my opinion anyway. Look how much money they've spent. They've improved on the title winning team. If they get Isak as well, arguably the best striker in the league, arguably. Okay, him, Haaland, whoever obviously you prefer. As well as having Salah as well, bro. They have to be the favorites to win the league. If you're being honest, you're probably looking at other trophies, thinking, you know what, they maybe should be getting multiple trophies in obviously domestically as well. Because if they play, they could have a position where they're resting Isak and have Ikatike in a League Cup game, in an FA Cup game. That's going to be their backup, their kind of backup team. So yeah, man. Obviously, Darren Murphy said it's always hard doing predictions before the window has shut, but there's still a lot of business to do, including Liverpool. I do believe there's going to be a really tight race this season, and they might not have hit the ground running because of a new number of new players they have got. But I'm going to go with Slot's team because their abundance of talent in the midfield and the confidence from last season is going to be hard to top what they already done. Chris Sutton says, I'm going with Liverpool whether they sign striker Isak or not. Well, I actually think it's going to be difficult for them. Subconsciously, you wonder how the players are going to deal with the death of Diego Jota, if he has any effect on them. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually, to be fair. That is definitely something to take into account for sure. Again, don't know how they're going to react, good way or bad way, to be fair to them. Liverpool have got already got better in every area. I know they've lost Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is Troy Deeney. But Jeremy Frimpong is as good as a right back. Not with his passing range, but they don't need that with other players they have got up front with obviously Verts. They've still got Salah, and now they've got Hugo Ekitike and potentially Isak too. Alan Shearer, Liverpool are favourites even without Isak. You have to look at what they did last season and how they won the title at Cantor. I hope Isak stays at Newcastle, to be honest. That's what Wayne Rooney said. I already have Liverpool as favourites to win the Premier League, but if Isak comes in, then they're going to be unstoppable. A big thing was them replacing Trent Alexander-Arnold because they obviously creates a lot of chances. But they've got Frimpong who can obviously fill that gap as well. Sidwell says Liverpool too. They're getting better and better. Each time City were champions under Guardiola, they would add a player or two. You would think they can't get any better, but they did, and Liverpool have done the same. So yeah, everyone's saying Liverpool, really, man. Liverpool, Leon Osman. I originally thought Liverpool for the title again. They won it easily and have strengthened very well. Yeah. And people looked at Van Dijk. This is Matt Upson at the Community Shield and questioned him, but that's just him at this stage of the season. He's a big lad getting older. He can sometimes look sluggish, but then he gets into his rhythm and his decision making is super sharp. He's very key for them and how he orchestrates everything. So yeah, man. Obviously, they're not talking about Arsenal there. Big up everyone in the building. I'll make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Big up man said so. This is why I said he's a glorified Poch with a budget. His football isn't sustainable. Give Poch a bigger budget. Man said just like Mourinho is a glorified Arteta. Shut up, Darren. Says Carlos. Yeah, bro, Mourinho is a goat. Ain't nobody win the Champions League with Porto. Yeah, that was a ridiculous season, to be fair, man. Do you feel like going against United, we are going to revert back to the factory settings, 4-3-3, or play the formation we did against Bilbao? I know it didn't look like it much, but there was more cohesiveness. Now, I'm hoping we go for the Bilbao thing. I'm hoping that's kind of a new kind of tactics, new kind of formation, the 4-5-1 or 4-2-3-1, however you want to call it. I feel like that's better for the style of players that we've got. Gyökeres, Zubimendi. I think fast, quick-paced football in transition over the top to one or two touches without playing that possession football. I feel like that possession football went out of style a couple of years ago, man. If I'm being honest, bro, I feel like it's very slow, very pedestrian. It's hard to really kind of break down teams that are very defensively sound. So, yeah, man, I think hopefully we go with that second formation because that's the best we've looked in preseason. And there's no coincidence. The new formation is why we looked a bit better, considering the old one is very, very formulaic. Very formulaic. Drew, we definitely going in with the blows, boring, slow football. Hopefully not, Darren, man. Hopefully not. Fam, can you share the league code? Yeah, I'm gonna let me pin it, bro. I'll pin it to the chat in it. Big up everyone in the building. I'll try and pin this to the chat now. Make sure you guys smash up the like button and subscribe as well, people. But yeah, man. Obviously, Carlos has made a fantasy football league, so if anyone wants to join in, let me pin this now. So yeah, it's pinned at the top of the chat, people. If people want to join, I'll definitely have to share it on my post as well. So yeah, man, big up everyone in the building as well. Yeah, man, I'll definitely share it after the live as well, man. But big up everyone who's already in the building as well, man. Obviously, that's the code there, T-Transfer Sports, EFPL League code. Obviously, that's the code there. If you want to join up, make sure you join up. And yeah, man, see who is the most tactically inept. Let's see in the chat who is really about it in terms of tactics and stuff like that, man. Big up Joe says, I hope Liverpool goes close in all competitions and ends up with nothing. They haven't retained the league title in the last 4 attempts. Wow. Since 1984 again would be very, very good. With a laughing emoji. You have to let me know who you support, Joe. Big up yourself for the comment, man. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. They are the massive favourites for sure. You really expect Arteta to change his tactics? Well, he changed him in the last game, bro. He literally changed him in the last game. So that's the only thing you can hope for, man. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I mean, again, a lot of people would have said that he wouldn't have got Gyökeres, and here he is. So I feel like you have to be open to, obviously, him changing. Whether he does it or not is obviously a different thing. But I think, yeah, you have to be open to it, man. Otherwise, we're just going to be doomed. Do you know what I'm saying? We're just going to be doomed, man. Whereas he wants Gyökeres to flop so he can put his boyfriend Havertz in. Marseille beat 1993 prime Milan, who thrashed Barcelona 4-0 in the 1994 final. We beat the Champ. Don't get Mourinho hyped too much. Okay. Big up IME. Di Matteo is old school, bro. In his era, I believe even Alex Ferguson would feel fire in his belly. Football has changed, says IME. I reckon City will win the league. Okay, big up Joe, man. Big up Joe, something a bit different. Big up Lucky Singh. Zertsky, Amad Diallo, Cunha, Dallo, Mason Mount. Let's flood the whole pitch against Arsenal. Obviously, again, Man United fan. Big game at the weekend on Sunday. Man United versus Arsenal, man. I feel like it's definitely going to be a tight game for sure. In this era, Sir Alex Ferguson would struggle. Oh, interesting, man. Interesting. Again, potentially you might be right with that because again, you feel like when he does dominate in those kind of areas, he did spend the most money. Not to take anything away from obviously his actual managerial skills as well, because again, you have to still retain the title 3 years in a row, etc., etc. But you did see when obviously Chelsea and Manchester City started to obviously get more money, he did start winning it less frequently than he was before. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it'd be very interesting take to see him now, especially like you said, with Liverpool with money, with Arsenal spending, with Chelsea spending, with Man City spending. I feel like it would be not as dominant. But then you say that Manchester City have spent a load of money and obviously they've dominated as well. So maybe it would be a case of who spends the most money, who actually is the better manager pound for pound when it comes to like a Pep or a Ferguson kind of thing. So yeah, man, City for second. Especially with the strength and spending power, says Carlos. Best thing to happen to the Premier League, and that was oh my god. We're big up Lucky Singh. He says that we're going to impress the best teams world. We have key men back for us. We'll see, man. Again, like I said, you can't really dismiss anything. I mean, I am intrigued to see how Man United get on this season. I feel like again, you definitely need a new keeper and potentially someone in the midfield as well. But your attacking strikers or attacking signings have been very, very good. I feel like they're very good additions. So we'll have to wait and see. But there is a bit of pressure, in my opinion, on Amarin to start very well. Again, finishing 15th, 16th, losing to Spurs in the Europa League final. I feel like, again, fans are going to want to see a massive improvement from the start. If you start the season in the first 6 to 10 games and you're still, I don't know, 12th, 13th, round that period of time, people are going to be questioning, is this guy actually going to improve us? Do you know what I mean? Especially with your new attackers. So, but yeah, very, very good, man. Very good. If Mourinho is great, why is he in Turkey when Pep is creating legacy in the Prem? Laughing my ass off. So gas Prem football is back. Yeah, 100%, man. I am gas, man. I am very, very gas. Big up Joe. The Toffees. Oh, Everton fan, man. Big up yourself, bro. You have to let me know what you're thinking about Everton in terms of your new stadium. Obviously, the signings you're making. Jack Grealish on loan as well. And how you think you're going to do this season. Because I feel like you're going to do really, really well this season, man. I do rate David Moyes. I feel like he's the perfect manager for you in terms of having you have a solid foundation and making sure you're hard to beat. And I don't think you're going to be down the relegation bracket this season, in my opinion, man. I feel like you're going to be a good, solid mid-table team for sure, which is obviously more than you've been for the last couple of seasons, my bro. But big up yourself for being in the chat, man. Colin says, how old are you? Oppositions have been scoring on the first chance they get on our goal. I don't know how Arteta and his staff fixes this defensive disease. Yeah, man, I feel like, again, because we're dominating the ball in terms of possession-wise, the first kind of chance that opposition gets, I feel like, again, he's probably a better chance than what we've created in the game at that point in time. And also as well, man, they probably know in their game head, in their state, we have to be very, very clinical against this team in this kind of tactics we're doing, where we're sitting back, obviously soaking up pressure. We're going to probably get limited chances, so we've got to be very clinical. I feel like that does play a part as well in terms of mentality and how you obviously create chances, knowing that you need to score this to kind of win the game. So yeah, I feel that's all in there. But yeah, in terms of how to combat that, I just feel like Arsenal needs to just be a bit more dominant, a bit more clinical, a bit more kind of ruthless in terms of when they've got the ball. It all means something. It's not just like aimless, mindless possession in terms of like you're not actually creating anything. You just have the ball for the sake of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, if we can do that, I think it'll be a little bit different. Let's get them good competitive match. Yeah, hopefully it is a match. Hopefully Arsenal win as well. Carlos, old enough to expose you, Mourinho scam. Mourinho keeps taking these stupid underdog roles to stay in football. He could easily manage back in the Prem, Italy, or Spain. Sorry. I just scrolled down, bro. What's going on? I said everyone think we will walk all over. You know what? Again, like I said, it's a new season, bro. I don't think anyone is gonna be saying that someone's gonna be worse than the season before. Because again, new season, new players, new kind of vibe. We have to see. Momentum is the key thing in football, man. If you can start the season well, then who knows where you'll finish, man. Luis Garcia, I know you're under 13 because you copy and paste transfer news. Carlos, you should know what to copy and paste. Go to school, complete your education. Mourinho, deluded fan. 3 Premier Leagues in 10 years with a laughing emoji. Carlos is trying to cut Mourinho in there. Fight back. We're pushing either top midfielders, whether that's Baleba or Adam Wharton, says Lucky Singh. Yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, Baleba's going to cost you a lot of money, bro. So I'm assuming you're going to be sending the likes of Sancho. Garnacho's another one. Obviously, Rashford's gone out on loan. Højlund could be another one you're selling as well. So, yeah, I think if you get rid of those players, then potentially you could be on the right path of maybe bidding for Baleba or someone else. Roman Abramovich destroyed the transfer market. He will always be remembered for that. Hilarious, says I am me. Who are the Toffees? Says Darren. I'm excited. First time in years. Very hard being and everything. Yeah, 100%, bro. Especially with like the point deductions and the lack of spending you've had, and maybe sometimes the football's not been great as well. But now, I'm actually happy for you guys, man. I feel like again, you're one of your proper Barclays in terms of you know those teams, man. I still feel like teams like Leeds and Sunderland are proper Barclays. Blackburn as well. Like there's certain teams that for me should always just be in the Premier League. I know it doesn't work like that, but they just have kind of that affiliation. I think Everton are definitely one of them. So I'm glad you're kind of getting your financial situations obviously up and running. And the fact that you've got a new stadium, man, should obviously encourage you to get more income in terms of revenue and that. And maybe you can obviously be that kind of steady kind of team now instead of obviously flirting with relegation. Everton, that team signed Grealish, Mazazine. Why do Mandem tell me to go school when they can't even spell? Hey, well, good luck with that. Man, good luck with man. Big up Joe, man. Big up Joe for being in the building, man. Hopefully his team does well as well. Garcia, Klopp literally won 1 Premier League title in 10 years. That is very true as well, to be fair. That is very true too as well, to be fair. In the league, only way is up for the Spuds and United. Can we say the same about Arsenal? Yeah, that is it. That is the issue, man. And the thing is as well, the only way it would be up for us is obviously winning the league. And they're not a lot of people's favourites for sure. Luis Garcia, as far as I can remember, thrashed Mourinho 3-1, and then he went to Tottenham Hotspur, now in Turkey. Farmer League with a laughing emoji. Tops, did you like the Champions League joke yesterday on the guys' channel? My days, nah. You were mocking it, Mayhem. You were mocking it for sure. You were mocking it, man. I said, yeah, Garcia, you won't win the war with managers with me. You can't sit on my table. I let you, man, fire it out, man. That's big everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join the Tops Fantasy Football League, Carlos has pinned it at the top of the chat, man. The code is there. Make sure you join in, be a part, be involved in the community, man. Join up with the league and that. And yeah, go from there, people. Go from there. Obviously, yeah, a couple of pundits talking about Arsenal. The first 6 games is Martin Keown. The first 6 games of the season, including the Manchester United, Liverpool, Newcastle away, Manchester City at home, are going to be key. I'm going to turn what might have been a negative to a positive because Liverpool's new players will need time to bed in. City have to reset, and Newcastle have enjoyed a difficult summer. The title race is going to be very close, but if Arsenal and Gyökeres can click straight away, then the solid building blocks they need to be champions are already in place. Listen, listen, we're going to see pretty much if Arsenal going to be in the title race in the first 6 games, bro, because you're going to have to get a decent amount of points. You can't be 6, 7, 8 points behind. We've seen it last season. We just never recovered from that. So, yeah, we're going to see him pretty quickly, if we're being honest, if we're about it or not. But so, yeah, we're going to have to make sure we have a good start. All of last season's top 4 have pros and cons, but also finally have a striker. Plus, the manager have been there for so long. But, yeah, we definitely need a few more, though, for sure. Mikel Arteta's tactical blueprint is embedded. Also, press traps, structured possession and defensive discipline give them one of the best goal differences in the league. Now they have a backup winger for Bukayo Saka and a modern striker in Gyökeres to address their goal scoring needs. They've had a thoughtful transfer window balancing creativity, stability, and consistency. Yeah, the one thing I will say about that is that you're looking at, obviously, Nana Wiki as backup. She's only actually mentioned one starting player that we've actually got in. So yeah, I think we definitely need a few more, in my opinion, man, to really kind of compete as well. As well as the new striker, he's brought through new players, but obviously we had them last season. So yeah, man. Also, I'm sure Arteta won't expect the same injury crisis defensively they had last season. With the striker now on board, they could get the job done. I think they will be very close, but just miss out. Gyökeres is a powerhouse. He's going to score a lot of goals. We'll see how they get on. So yeah, no one's really optimistic, really, in these pundits in terms of. I don't think Gyökeres is the one. It's such a big step. I was with him at Brighton, and I've never had him down to be a. Wow, that's very, very damning. That is. Yeah, I've never had him down to be a 64 million pound striker. When Ben White stepped up into our first team right away, everyone knew how good he would be. He was of the standard. When Victor came in, it was more of a case where you thought he was all right. I'm not sure he suits Arsenal style either. Very okay. All right, that's very, very interesting kind of opinion there by Glenn Murray. Again, played with him as well. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, man, for sure. Big old Baron in the building. What's going on? Liverpool, hate to say it, but yes, great window. One of the winners of the Premier League. Yeah, man. Again, I think Liverpool are a lot of people's favourites to win the Premier League, especially with that amount of money they've spent and them keeping their key players from last season. No way our number 10 shirt isn't appearing on the football pitch this season, bro. I hope we have to, surely. I mean, again, last season, no one's wore it since obviously Smith Rowe went last season, have they? So yeah, man. Hopefully it does get obviously taken by someone that we buy for sure. Big up Joe, the 5-year bet on English clubs in Europe after the Ainsley shenanigans in 1985 was very bad for the champions Everton. I'm sure we would have won a European Cup more than what. Yeah, maybe, bro. Because again, apparently Everton back then, I have heard that you and Liverpool going bar for bar in terms of league titles. So maybe, man, maybe you might have had a bit of a European success as well during that time. Since you mentioned Mourinho, Benitez scored Mourinho in 2005 and 2007 Champions League semi-final. I don't remember Mourinho has seen Champions League final with any Premier League team. With a laughing emoji. Liverpool, yes, are my favourites to me. Mourinho wasn't that caused by Liverpool fans. Yes, Liverpool fans, hooligans, troublemakers. Garcia, he's won the trophy twice, though, as that's all that matters. Had he not been sacked the first time, I'm sure he would have got us there. Did you know Chelsea were the first ever English club to be invited to the Champions League after winning the league in 1955? We turned it down with a laughing emoji. Nobody rated the European Cup back then in those days. We could have won more. Says Carlos. I remember also taking the title at Anfield in 1989. I was so happy to watch it live as a 40-year-old boy. Oh, damn. Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. What a massive, obviously, achievement it was for Arsenal at the time to win that in the last game of the season. 2-0 that to win, and they did it in the last minute. No, with all the Premier League teams, all Chelsea fans pretend Mourinho won the treble with Chelsea, but it's Benitez who owns Mourinho in the Champions League as Chelsea manager with a laughing emoji. Obviously, that's obviously Arsenal's kind of predicted thing. I know they have a striker now, but I just feel like they've missed out their opportunity. Liverpool coming strong, while City and Chelsea will both be better this season, says Troy Deeney. So yeah, not a lot of people are obviously picking Arsenal to be favourites, to be fair. But again, these are just pundits' opinions, man. Really, it doesn't really matter because again, a lot of people didn't have Liverpool winning the league last year, and they won it at a canter, man. So yeah, again, Manchester City. Joe Hart, obviously a former Manchester City player. City's transfer looked like good business to me. Competitive business with the intention of doing some damage, not just to build for the bright future. I think Guardiola has somewhat changed how he wants to play again, so the football could be spinning again. This will be a different City, so less predictable, harder for people to set up against if they get it right. Paul Robinson said they recruited well in January and as again well in the summer. A wounded City are dangerous. And Troy Deeney, City are going to be better all around. They can't be as bad as they were last season. And even then, they still came third. They have to address that left-back area, which is a big concern. But they have more flair now. Obviously, Erling Haaland will always get you goals as well. Danny Murphy, City still have the best striker in the world. Rodri's return is like a new signing. I know he's injured at the moment, but a little bit little bit of setbacks. It's normal after a serious injury. I sense an improvement. They're going to be pushing Liverpool all the way with the brilliance of Pep and the reinforcements they have brought in. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting one, man. Some people kind of dismissing City, saying that they don't really kind of think they're going to be comfortable in terms of defensively, in terms of the defensive lineups and stuff like that. All the people are saying, you know what, it's still Pep Guardiola. They've still got Haaland, still got very good players, and potentially they could be going for another, obviously, title charge. They've got the experience in the players as well. It's just defensively, you've got to see if they can improve on that kind of defensive structure too. But I'm sure Pep will come up with something new, man, and innovative, and because yeah, he always does, man. He always does. Obviously, Phil Walcott, City are in the rebuild, but I still think they'll still compete and will be really tight between them, Liverpool and Arsenal. City squad is amazing. So yeah, a lot of people are probably more probably encouraging thoughts about City than Arsenal, really. On to Chelsea. I'd be shocked if they don't win at least one trophy. I don't know who said that. Chris Waddle, they've got a great squad. They brought a lot of balance. They brought a lot of players last year, and it's taken them time for them to get the balance right. But you saw things come together when they won the Club World Cup, and I'm really expecting them to kick on. They won't walk it, but they're going to create chances and score a lot of goals. They'll be a part of the title race for longer this season than last. Under Enzo Maresca, they had a clear way of playing with the players constantly improving. They'll be a threat to everyone, which is why they'll be champions. Which is why they're the champions of the world. Sorry. Chelsea players Chelsea put players on massive contracts, lots of ins and outs, but Maresca has obviously developed the team as well as he can. They're in a strong in every position, but they're inexperienced and late start to preseason after winning the Club World Cup will come back to haunt them in the later rounds, says Troy Deeney. They look sharp, and the new buys are absolutely fabulous. Esteval Willian has every chance of being the best in the business. Obviously, they've been heavily reliant on Cole Palmer, but not anymore. They'll hit the ground running. They might hit a wall in December, January. If you hear anyone phase that they have started really well, that somehow has not affected them, then shake your head. The problem comes later. Yeah, that's a very good point, to be fair. You'll have to see how they obviously adapt throughout the entire season, because, again, they've not had the longest of pre-seasons for sure. Big up. What's going on? I said, mark my words. I said, Glaze is out. Find out that Liverpool going to cover all areas. Arsenal will be up there. And Man City could push them close as well. Liverpool and Man City, Arsenal. Benitez won against the best Champions League team ever in Milan. I don't remember anyone who preferred Premier League over Champions League. Deluded proper Chelsea, I see. I'm going to join the EPL League after the stream. Yeah, man, make sure you guys join up the stream. It's pinned at the top of the chat, man. Join the T-Chanzo Sports stream and all of that good stuff. Tops, is the news true that Calvert-Lewin is going to join Leeds? Yeah, I think it is, bro, on a free transfer. Like I said, a lot of people are, again, writing him off and saying that, again, he's not very good. But I feel like for a team like Leeds, getting a Premier League proven striker, for me, it's just obviously his injury record, man. But again, for someone like Leeds, I feel like he can still put the ball in the back of the net. And again, it's going to be improvement to who they have now, because I actually don't know who the striker is, if I'm being honest, bro, which means he's probably not going to be a Premier League proven striker. So yeah, I think he's a decent signing on a free. Maybe it's on a players you play kind of deal as well. So you're not paying him massive wages, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Can't write off the squad experience now that's been there for Manchester City. I said yes. I said okay. You bums write Chelsea off. It's okay to write us off. Palmer said it. Chelsea are winning the league or the Champions League. Man said, clip me. Oh my days. Man said the league or the Champions League. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this, bro? Are you sure you want to do this? That's the league or the, I mean, you see with the Champions League, yeah. I don't think you can dismiss anyone really that's already won it before, because again, it's a cup competition, isn't it? So I feel like for me, if you're gonna have someone in the Champions League that's already had a history of winning it, then definitely they could come out of nowhere. We've seen it with Liverpool in the past. They've not been in it for a few years, then they get to a final randomly. Do you know what I'm saying? So with that one, I could probably see you more obviously get to the final of that really than the league. But yeah, Chelsea could push them, Manchester City and Liverpool really close points wise. Yeah, again, we will miss Colwell, but I'm coming for it. Oh yeah, Colwell's a massive miss, bro. Especially if you don't replace him, man. I think because you could argue he's your best defender, pound for pound. So we'll have to wait and see. He did. I said I did. Carlos, I clipped that. Of course you did. You said clip it. I like Calvert-Lewin. Lewis injuries isn't his fault. Lewin, sorry. Bottom three guys. West Ham, Sunderland, and Wolves. Oh, Wolves is not a bad shout, man. I think Brentford might be in there, bro. Keith Andrews, man, has not got a lot of experience when it comes to obviously managing Premier League teams. And again, with them losing quite a lot of their key players this summer as well, I feel like potentially they could be in there. So we'll have to wait and see how they get on. Losing Thomas Frank is a massive blow as well. Again, you've got obviously the usual suspects, Leeds United, but Burnley have to be in there, surely. Burnley, Sunderland, I feel like they made good business. The only kind of caveat is, are they going to do a thing where they bought too many players in? We've seen it before with like QPR, when they bought a load of kind of ex-Premier League players. But the problem with them, they bought a load of players in the same age where they bought Jason Park, they bought Rio Ferdinand, I remember. They bought a load of players in the kind of same age bracket of like late 30s or early 30s, sorry. So yeah, I think at least we've got Sunderland, they bought obviously a range of different age ranges into their team. But yeah, I said Skirt Man, agree with Carlos, proper Chelsea copium. I said hopium. Extra strength hopium. Darren, they will come out of nowhere when we don't expect it. Can't wait for the cinematic performance again from Mascara. We're not ready yet to win the league when we're in the top 3 at almost halfway throughout the season. Then the fall off going to be comical, bro. He can't be coming out and saying that again, bro. Like, I feel like that kind of had a negative effect, bro. When you're in that position, you're just gonna try and just, bro, fake it till you make it, fam. That's the saying, innit? If you're in that position, just gas up the team, man. Yeah, we can do this. I get why he didn't want to do it to put pressure on them, but bro, listen, this Premier League, man, no one knows what's gonna happen, bro. Like, if you're in a certain position, even if you're not expected to do it, just try and do as best as you can, innit? So yeah, man, if they're in that position again, you gotta have, especially you're the world champions now, you gotta have that kind of expectation of, you know what, we can definitely go there and win, bro. We can definitely go there and win. I hope Burnley stay up. Nah, Dre, we weren't ready last season. No way, good enough. We can definitely challenge this season because the team's matured and I said no Jackson, you know. No Jackson. We're gonna win tonight 4-1. Okay. Salahati, you know. Interesting. Interesting, man. Brentford definitely going down. I think they're definitely one of the teams that potentially could be on their way down for sure. They're Chelsea. These Chelsea guys think they still owned by Abramovich when they hired a manager and in the first or second season he'll win the league. Well, laughing emoji, Carlos, no, Jackson, or are you for real? Dre, in terms of recruitment, there's Chelsea fans that prefer this structure now instead of Abramovich's method. Is it? Is that true? Is that true? Okay, interesting. Kelleher, good, trusted. I'm 100% sure Brentford will stay up. I mean, Kelleher was a good buy, to be fair. I forgot they even got him, man. But in terms of attacking wise, they have lost Mbuemo. They're going to lose Wisser as well. And they've lost Norgard, their captain. So in terms of structurally, and they lost the manager, bro. The manager, for me, the manager is the key thing. Because I feel like he was getting the best out of Mbuemo, getting the best out of Wisser, getting the best out of his players, his strikers, man. So yeah, we're definitely scouting better for sure. And we're selling at the same rate. Says Carlos. Question is, are you one of them? You changed your club. There is a sense of stability around the club now. Worcester isn't gone yet. He definitely is going to be going Mayhem for sure. I feel like, again, once he's gone, is for sure, man. The project is projecting world champions. Top, show your PFL. I've not actually made one yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it, man, to be honest with you. I mean, I say I will do, but then I know what I'm like, man. By October or November, I just can't be bothered to keep it up, bro. That's the only issue I've got. And because at the start of the season, everyone's optimistic. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna play it, and then I just can't bother to continue it, man. But I'll see, bro. I might just make one for banner and just not play with it. Pause. That's a big why. But yeah, this is a guess rather than prediction. But if Chelsea sign a good young centre back, I would change my mind and put them third. They need a solid, steady centre back pairing, and they don't have that while Carwell is out. I think I think the Carwell, that is a massive blow, man. I'll be honest, man. That is a massive blow because again, it's the defender down. It's one of the defenders that obviously is in your starting lineup as well, bro. And yeah, I think it will be a massive miss for sure. They only buy a young if they buy centre backs. Do you buy mistakes? That's the way it is. I had two in mind, and obviously they missed out in Dean Housen as well, and Jared Brantwaite is another one. Chelsea need him, but I hope they don't get him because of my Everton obviously leanings. He would break my heart. What about the other 16 teams? It's harder than ever for the chasing pack. So obviously this was the season last year. 84 points, won the league for Liverpool, 74 for Arsenal, 71, 69, 66 for Newcastle and Aston Villa. But yeah. It's one of those, man. It's one of those. Big up everyone in the building, man. But yeah, I feel like, again, when it comes to the predictions, it's one of those ones for sure. Where you kind of just have to wait and see, man. But yeah, I'm very gassed about the season coming to fruition as well. So yeah, should be good. Obviously, onto other news while I'm here. Obviously, Roma make a £20 million bid to sign Manchester United outcast Sancho. Roma have made a £20 million offer to sign Sancho, who remains excluded from training with the first team. The 25-year-old has been told to find a new club before the transfer window closes on September the 1st. And obviously he joined in Manchester United for £73 million 4 years ago. Juventus, unlike Roma, have qualified for this season Champions League and are also known to have interest for Sancho. The former Borussia Dortmund wide man returned to Man United in the summer after Chelsea paid a £5 million penalty to get out of the obligation to buy him after spending last season on loan at Stamford Bridge. There has also been suggestions that Roma would be interested in a loan. And obviously have an obligation at the end of it. Again, after the obligation from Chelsea got obviously broke, you kind of just need to sell him, man. I'll be honest, man. Just get rid of him and just move him on in it. But yeah, obviously that's kind of news there. I think 20 mil. I mean, look how from 73 mil to 20 mil, man, is crazy. But the wages he's on, man, he's on too much wages, bro. So it's going to be very difficult for anyone really to kind of pay the wages and pay a massive fee for him still. And obviously he's ostracized. Everyone knows that Man United don't want him. So in terms of the move, I think potentially you probably hold up for a Juventus because they're in the Champions League. But again, Roma, Juventus, you kind of want to play in a position, and I'm surprised no other Premier League team, obviously he's gone for him, but you kind of want to play in a position where you're going to be eligible to try and get into that World Cup squad. Because again, 2026, there is obviously room for someone to obviously make a breakthrough season in the next coming season to try and get into the squad, man. So we'll have to wait and see, but I do feel like he will be going for sure. Big up everyone in the building, man. Are you streaming tonight? The best team in the English Premier League? Yeah, I think I will do a stream tonight for sure. Colwell was on the verge of becoming world class this year. Down with a laughing emergent CWC performances don't at me. Morning, dude. Hope you've been good. Morning, chat. Big up, Andy, bro. Big up yourself, brother. Hope you are well. Didn't Chelsea win the Champions League? It's still owned by Abramovich. That's how you guys get into the Champions CWC. Sorry, it wasn't because of the Conference League trophy. Yes, we did, Drew, but the team was shit. Havertz and Werner in attack. Worst attack I've seen in my life. Bring me back. I said Mikel Forster, bro. That's rude. I said Ida Good Johnson, fam. Ay. I said Andre Flo in that. That's mental. Nah, yeah. You know me. I'm not Havertz guy, so I ain't gonna back him like that, fam. You get me? You know I'm not Havertz guy like that. So yeah, and Werner, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, man. But because of Liverpool and Arsenal defenders, nobody recognizes Chelsea defense like Colwell and James, or else they would have been world class. What a load of bullshit. James is the best right back in the Prem, Garcia. Says Carlos. Man United have had regular contacts for Carlos Baleba, Asian, and Brighton. Darren with a laughing emoji. Many proper Chelsea fans thought James could be compared to Trent, of all players. Yeah, we know James clears Trent over cross. James will never be world class. He's rarely fit. Colwell is well off the likes of Gabriel and VVD and possible Saliba too, says Andy. Literally, Klopp tried to invert Trent and he couldn't do it. With a laughing emoji, Reece James inverts every game. Yeah, that is kind of a new thing he's been doing, to be fair. Reece James. I mean, a lot of Chelsea fans didn't like it at the start, I remember. Maybe that was it on the Poch as well? He tried to invert. I can't remember. Was it on the Maresca? But yeah, it definitely has improved on it for sure. Andy, he's played 24 games in a row. Reece James. Yeah, he has been fit for a decent amount of time now. So yeah, we'll have to see how he gets on, obviously, in the coming season as well, people. Big up everyone in the building. Obviously, some more transfer news before I head off. Forest agreed double deal for Hodgson and McAtee. Nottingham Forest have agreed deals with so you know what? I got confused. I remember it was Brentford that was after Hodgson and paid the money, but bro, I just assumed it was Brentford again. Oh, he's actually going to Forest. Damn. Obviously they've agreed deals. £37.5 million for winger Amari Hutchinson and nearly 30 million for Manchester City's James McAtee. The deal for the 22-year-old is expected to include add-ons and a buyback clause as well. That's the thing I like about City. They dash in buyback clauses for their players. I'm surprised they didn't do it for Palmer, to be fair. They dash in buyback clause for their players. Forest have been considering their next move for Hutchinson, 21, after £35 million offer was rejected by the Tractor Boys at the weekend. McAtee, who captained the England under-21s to the Euro 2025 victory in the summer, has been a long target for Forest. So yeah, looks like they're going to get him. kept Morgan Gibbs White. Remember, they're going to be in the Europa League as well, so they're playing Thursdays, Sundays, man, for obviously the first half of the season. So yeah, going to be very interesting to see how they adapt to that for sure. It's going to be them and Aston Villa in the Europa League, and now obviously Crystal Palace are in the Conference League as well. So yeah, Forest are also in advanced talks for the obviously this Ren striker as well. With all three coming to a close of £90 million, man. So at least they're trying to reinvest in obviously them getting into Europe. They're trying to get some players, and also they've sold obviously Anthony Elanga as well. So yeah, and they've already signed Ndoye from Bologna. So they've signed some players, man. They've signed some decent players, man. So we'll have to wait and see. You guys have to let me know how you think they're going to do in the Premier League. Let me get back to the comments, bro. I said we beat PSG, inverting James too. Augusto on the overlap. That's the footballer. I demand more Premier League players from our hierarchy. Carlos, you probably for the first time in his career. Says Andy. 20 mil for Sancho. I swear we never do our due diligence on all these players like Grealish. Don't know if it's true, but they said he took a pay cut on the loan. I'm not too sure, bro. I feel like I don't know. I first I read that he was definitely going to be still getting paid the 300k, but it's just going to be divided evenly. But yeah, maybe you did, man. But you know what, Dre? I don't want a Grealish, man. I've been stung too many times with the Sterling thing, bro. I don't want any washed players, or sorry, I reiterate that I don't want any players that are out of favor at another club that we end up getting, bro. I just want players that are in a top level piece of form that we just kind of pry from a team that want to keep him in it. Because again, it's just always downhill, man. You're always expecting them to be a certain level, and they just never are, bro. Klopp and Trent want everything, unlike Mourinho, Hazard, and Chelsea combined with a laughing emoji. Ain't nobody can at me about Chelsea. Dre, watching Darren doesn't even have. That is rude, fam. I say doesn't even have a signal in Jamaica. That's crazy. Garcia won title in 10 years. Woohoo. On about Klopp. I said Jadon Sancho, Rasmus Haaland just want them gone. They suit the Italian league, yeah, for sure. Reece James, Prem soon come. Ben White is better than is a better right back than James. I'm so glad we didn't sign Sancho, man. Seeing Gittins' life has changed my life. I said, what do you think? Obviously that's your fantasy pool. Not bad, you know. That's not bad, to be fair. You've got Wirtz in there, you got Salah in there. Bernardo, the Watkins. No, that's not bad. It's 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 not bad at all. You've got a few players that can definitely provide some seriousness for sure. Andy, be serious with a laughing emoji. You're not worth my time, Elephant Boy. What? What? What the hell, bro? What about Mourinho, Champions League with Chelsea? Don't tell me Mourinho is not good enough to win the Champions League with Chelsea after spending billions. Piped by massive piped is crazy. Piped by Benitez in the Champions League semi-final twice. Nah, pipes killed me. I said the elephant has got more emotion than you, Darren. Mourinho couldn't win it, but he's won it twice. The core he built at Chelsea won it in 2012. Man said, try harder. Man said, cooked and barbecued. Man's gassing up kittens. Man's got 2 PC. The man said kittens, you know. Slander name's crazy. Kittens. Yeah, nasty. Big up everyone in the building, man. Obviously, some final news here. Huge boost. Newcastle agree £40 million deal for Jacob Ramsey. Newcastle close to agreeing a deal for Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey in a deal worth about £40 million. BBC Sport reported on Wednesday that the clubs were in advanced talks over the proposed deal for the 24-year-old. An agreement in principle has now been reached, with just finer details left to complete. Once a deal is signed off, Ramsey will complete the formalities, including the medical, and then move to St. James's Park. Villa actually host Newcastle in their opening game on Saturday at 12:30 a.m. or p.m. wherever the p.m. UK time on Saturday at Villa Park. He's obviously he's a former England under-21 international, scored 17 goals in 167 games for Aston Villa as well. So yeah, I think it's a good signing. Again, Newcastle will be happy that they've obviously got a deal over the line, getting one of their targets, because again, it's kind of been a hard kind of window for them for sure. Obviously getting Aaron Ramsdale, even though they wanted Trafford, and Elanga's kind of the only guy they probably only got for Isak, considering he's Swedish. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I said, Darren, you're not even happy with your signings. We're laughing emoji. Only me and Carlos are in the EFL team. Someone else join. Yeah, I'll make one, man. I'll make one. And that's Madawaki, NordVPN. Kepa Lokong extension. They are the ones that's going to improve us. Nah, mate, I'll take the gamble on Grealish or Sancho. Nah, not Sancho, bro. Like, no, Drew, no, bro, no, man. Forget these guys, man. Just get some new players. This is what I'm saying. Get an Eze, get a Rodrigo, get a Leao, get these kind of players. Forget these players that, bro, the reason that they're not working out at these clubs because they're not good enough for Man City. He's not good enough for Man United. He's not good enough for Chelsea. Otherwise, I would have kept him, bro. Nah, forget it, man. Forget it. We need to stop doing this, guys. We need to stop doing this. Just because they're well-known names and they've been at big clubs. We need to stop. Because when they come to Arsenal and don't do well, people are going to be like, oh, why have we got them? Because, yeah, we knew they weren't good enough. That's why these teams didn't want them. Nah. Forget the Grealishes, the Sanchos, the Sterlings, the Rashfords. Just get the new Rashford, get the new Sancho, get the new Grealish, get the new kind of guys that are going to be in those kind of molds in terms of the style of play that they play, and go from there, man. Nah. I'm done with these guys. I can't lie. Anyone that's old or 28, 29, or has a bad spell at a big club and they want to get rid of them, nah, miss me out with that, man. I can't lie. Miss me out. Enjoy the match tonight, Darren, on your neighbor's radio. That is crazy. Ikitike rejected Chelsea just to sign some kitten. I would say don't watch that, Darren, but you literally can't. Jao Pedro and Delight were the same price as HS Ikitiki. Bro, no, man, no, I don't want Sancho, bro. No, man, no. No Sancho, no Rashford, none of them, man, bro. Like I said, just get the new guys, bro. Just get the new wingers. I'd rather get a fresh winger I know nothing about, yeah, than get this guy, man. Because you know what he's gonna do. He's not gonna be progressive. He's not gonna be proactive. He's gonna get you 5 goals. Like, you just know it, innit? Like, he's done it at Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea fans obviously again were saying that they potentially could have kept him if he would have lowered his wage demands down. But at the same time, it's like, nah, man. You want to get a guy that you're going to be gassed that he's going to be playing for your team. I'm not going to be gassed if Sancho signs for Arsenal or if Rashford signs for Arsenal, because you know their limitations. You know their good points, their bad points. You know they can be inconsistent as well. They know that their parent club doesn't want them for whatever reason, whether it's wages they're on, they're not worth it, or they're not being in great form, etc., man, or they're injury prone or whatever. There's always kind of a caveat of why they're not at the big club they're at. That's why they're coming to us. So, nah, man, not for me, bro. Not for me. Let Man United pay his wages. No more wash Premier League bomb, says Andrew. Yeah, that's what I'm with, man. No more of them kind of old guys, not even old guys, but them guys that are kind of past the hill now. And he's got 12 months left anyway. You can literally get him on a free. That's crazy, bro. Bro, he must be pound for pound the worst Man United signing, bro, in terms of like how much money they've spent on him and what he's actually done for the club. He's done next to nothing. Like, there's no kind of standout moment I can remember. Maybe he scored against Liverpool in his first season when they won 2-1. That's the only thing I can remember, man. But in terms of big games, in terms of final moments or semi-final, like, there's nothing I can remember, bro. Even Anthony's got a few. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, the goal he scored against Barcelona was good. The goal he scored against Arsenal was decent in his debut. Like, and he's you know what I'm saying? He's got a few kind of moments where you think, okay, cool. Even the goal he scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup on the route to them winning it was obviously decent in the round, man. So yeah, I said F them duds, says Darren. MC aren't messing around, man. I reckon we could rinse their money for Savinho. It depends if you're gonna get Rodrigo as well, my guy. I also want these world-class players at my club, but this is the way we invested. We want underachievers to make Arteta look like he's overachieved, and I don't mean in form of trophies. Yeah, we got Dre, man. But yeah, man, I'm with that in terms of like we need to stop doing that as well, bro. Like we need to get these kind of big kind of personalities, these big kind of players, to help us obviously go over the line, bro. Otherwise, you're gonna be, like you said, in the same position where you've got these underachievers and we're making it look like overachievers. As well, and obviously he gets a pat on the back kind of thing, so it's crazy. Anyway, Darren, it's all banter, my fellow yard man. Garcia is beef. I said if we get 150 million euros from the Spurs, then sign Rodrigo. We have had a window of the summer. Said edits. We need what? Are you edits? What I would say, are you obviously concerned about your defense, or are you happy with who you've got? Do you think you've got enough players that are? Because again, you look at kind of Ruben Diaz. I'd say a good defender, but can pick up an injury here or two or there. John Stones is very injury prone. Even Akanji and Ake have picked up a few injuries the last season or so. So I don't know. Are you happy with kind of your defensive lineup, or do you think you kind of maybe need someone else a bit more solid? Obviously, Guardiola's a very good player as well. But yeah, it's just if you can keep all these guys fit at the same time. We need world-class ballers. I said, just corner Carlos. Bar them up. Bar them a ball, you know. That's crazy. Better than Pool. Says edits. Doubtful to get Rodrigo, so get me Lookman after that. Leao after that. Massive Martinelli's mom. This chat's funny, man. He's on 350k. Chelsea offered him 150, and he said no. He's a bro. It's craziness, man. It's craziness. And listen, man. Money again. I know obviously he's on a lot of money, but brother, think about your career. You could have stayed at Chelsea. I've been a regular player at Chelsea. Who again, their upward trajectory is obviously definitely on the rise for sure. So instead, you're gonna maybe go to a Roma or maybe someone. I can see him at like a Turkish club or something, man, like a Galatasaray or something. Like they'd be willing to pay the wages or whatever. So I don't know, man. Decision making in terms of his career is definitely key. Again, I'm surprised he's not going back to Dortmund, but again, probably the wages again, man. I'm not gonna lie, Liverpool have had a really impressive window. Says Darren, I want them to get Isak now and complete the cycle. If Pep don't play the unks all the time and give Kajanov the chance, I forgot you even had him, bro. I forgot you even had them guys, but yeah, maybe, man, maybe that's kind of the key kind of area you need to do for you to obviously try and improve in that defensive area, man. But it's gonna be good, man. I'm actually looking forward to the title race. As well, guys, if you want to join the Fantasy Football League, make sure you join up as well. I'm definitely gonna have to obviously promote it, push it out, and all of that good stuff. Nottingham Forest have reached a total agreement for obviously Mario Hutchinson deal for the 22-year-old attacking midfielders to join. Obviously Nottingham Forest worth £37.5 million, man. Massive fee, bro. Massive fee. Obviously that's Atora going for 37, bro. 37 plus 5 million add-ons, bro, is mental. Yeah, mental, man. £43 million. Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like on the video and subscribe to the thing as well. Big up Lucky Singh. He says, I like speed. Bruno Fernandes, Adam Wharton, Ugarte can be behind. Aiden, Heaven. Race for the top 6 to the top 9 going to be good, man. I think in that top half, I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot of changes in terms of who's going to be playing with who for sure, man. So yeah, I think that's definitely something you got to keep an eye on for real. For the simple fact that I think potentially when you're looking at the likes of I don't know, let's just say you're looking at the likes of Aston Villa or Newcastle, these guys are going to be in European football as well. So is that going to make an effect for the likes of someone like a Manchester United to come in with one game a week and obviously make a massive impact, man? I'm not too sure. So, but yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it actually turns out and pans out as well, man. Because I do feel like potentially people could be sleeping on certain kind of clubs in it. So we will have to wait and see. But yeah, man, big up everyone that's obviously tuned in as well. It's a shame. But yeah, man, that's me done, man. It's been another 6 stream, man. Make sure you guys like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna rate to my guy Shane. If you want to obviously join the Fantasy Football League, I'll pin it and share it in the obviously post as well. Big ol' Andy says, are there any decent strikers left available for Newcastle to go? Ekatike, Gyökeres, Sesko, Osimhen all gone and off the table. Off the top of my head, that was the best available. Very good point, bro. I mean, again, I feel like the only kind of players available now, really, when you're looking at your Nicholas Jacksons. Obviously, Wissa, again, is a player that they're looking to try and get as well. But that, bro, it's looking at Samu from Porto. You're kind of looking at potential again, really. I don't feel like, again, you kind of missed the market with, like you're saying, the Seskos and the Iketikes. To be fair to them, they tried to get Sesko and Ikitike and it got missed out and they moved to other clubs. So, yeah, got to be difficult, man. I mean, for me, I know Isak's making it very untenable for him to stay. That's the only issue. And I feel like, again, that's probably why he's doing it, because he knows there's not a lot of quality in terms of the replacement. They Newcastle, if he wasn't doing this, could easily say, you know what, you're staying, man. Like, there's no adequate replacement for you in the market that we're going to be happy with if we sell you. And this is why I feel like, I don't know why Liverpool went for Ikitike and Isak. Maybe the only reason I can think of is that they're kind of getting in their Salah replacement early in terms of Isak being the star kind of key player. I know it's obviously different positions, different type of players, but kind of that marquee star player up front. They're getting him in now and then maybe sell Salah next year or make him go obviously in 2 years' time. So, yeah, man, maybe that's probably the issue. But, yeah, I feel like it's kind of strange because you kind of just took Newcastle's Isak replacement already. I feel like if they would have just left Ikitike to go to Newcastle, then Newcastle probably would have sold Isak already now. So, but yeah, man, one of those ones for sure. I see Aston Villa, Manchester United in the race for 5th to 7th. Newcastle, no replacement. Yeah, again. And again, it's looking like he doesn't really want to play for them ever again. So, going to be difficult for him to turn it around for sure. Going to be very difficult, man. But yeah, big up everyone in the building, man. I'm going to obviously head off now. I'll be back to obviously later on for the Liverpool versus Bournemouth watch along, man. So big up yourself for that. But yeah, until next time, man, don't play the game. Until next time, people, I'm out.